You've got a big life change on the horizon, but what questions should you be asking to reevaluate the spending plan? Let's walk through 7 essential questions to ask yourself when anticipating big change. You're moving across the country. You got a new job. You're about to get married. You're finally ready to adopt the dog or start the business. Big life changes can hit us from 1,000 different angles, and reevaluating the spending plan is one of the first things I do when I know big changes are coming. And speaking of big change, we're welcoming our second child this summer, meaning our spending plan is about to be old news. So I'm gonna pitch the top questions I'd ask myself when anticipating a big life change, and then Mac, my husband, and I will walk through each of the questions with our own spending plan to make sure we're properly preparing our spending plan for baby number 2. And if you don't have a spending plan right now, what the heck are you doing? Because you can trial YNAB for free for 34 days, no card info even required, and experience the peace, clarity, and confidence of living life with a plan tailored to exactly what you're going through. Give it a shot today at ynab.com/Hannah. First question to ask yourself when anticipating big change. Does this change warrant a fresh start? We kind of have 3 options here. We can tweak what we already have, adding categories or adjusting targets as needed. A great move for smaller changes like second babies or new pets. We can perform a fresh start, giving us a clean slate to redistribute all our dollars in a way that better aligns with our new financial needs. This is ideal for more significant life changes like moving or adjusting to align with a new income. Or we can start from scratch and make a new spending plan from the ground up. Though this option is one we don't find the need for very often, this can be an impactful move when combining finances with a partner for the first time or carving out all the extra money you can to prioritize starting your new small business. Okay, so I think out of those 3 options, we really have 2. Like, we're not going to start a new budget from scratch. There's no need. Do you think we tweak what we already have? Do you think there's enough change coming to warrant a fresh start?
I think we tweak what we already have because we already have 1 kid. We're just adding more money to the categories that we already have.
Keep it simple. No fresh start this time around. Next, brainstorm what brand new categories might need to make their way into the spending plan. Will this change incur some new bills you haven't previously had? Are there specific savings categories aligned with this change that would be good to start building a buffer for? Or what spending categories would you like the freedom to be able to spend from without the guilt or second guessing? And if you have absolutely no idea where to start in exploring this question, I'd recommend taking a peek at our templates gallery for inspiration, preset target amounts, or category ideas if you're just totally unsure what to add. We've got templates for new graduates, planning weddings, buying a home, prepping for a remodel, heading off to college, and yes, bringing home baby. If you'd like to learn more about templates and how they work, I'll link this handy video all about them both above and below. Okay, so what new categories might we want to add to our spending plan?
That is a good question.
I really don't know.
I don't know either.
The only thing I can think of is right now we have a kid gear category. I think it's been called baby gear. And that's when we realize like, oh, we need dishes for our child who now eats solid foods. Oh, we need shoes because he can walk now. We have that, but we overspend it every single month. So I don't think we should just
Overspend it more?
Yeah. So maybe in the spirit of newborns incurring a lot more expenses than you remember or that we anticipate, maybe we just have a newborn stuff category, newborn gear. We have a whole holidays category group, and we currently...
Birthday.
Yes, we set money aside for our birthdays and for our firstborn's birthday, so we need to add a baby number 2 birthday category. We also have a birthday party category for our first, so I guess we should have one of those too. Man, kids add up, yo.
So we talked about adding a category like a college fund for our first. We have yet to do that. Now that we're having our second, maybe we should actually consider doing it for both and like retroactively investing the amount of money for our first and like starting that now. So we actually have something down the road instead of scrambling 16 years later for a nice little gift for them.
This makes being parents feel real.
We will eventually need another car seat. We can reuse like the infant car seat that we got for our first, but he like upgraded to one of those bigger car seats. We'll have to get another one of those.
You're right.
And then an extra car seat base for the other car as well.
In my head, I was like, we don't need to worry about that for a while, but why wouldn't we make a category for it now and put a little bit in it every month until we have what we need? That would be smart.
That was like a pretty big spend. Car seats are not cheap.
It was. We got 2, one for each of our cars, and it was like over $200 per seat.
Yeah.
On sale. Better start that category now.
And we got 2 because they are so heavy. We were like, we are not transferring both of these back and forth. It was worth it to buy the 2.
For real. Next up, do you need to update any of your current targets? New homes mean new utility bills. More babies mean double the diapers and a fuller pantry. A new job could mean more or less commuting, paying more for parking, or increasing that twice a year massage to every quarter instead. Don't neglect the changes needed in those categories already sitting right in front of you. And pro tip, if you haven't yet used YNAB's Cost to Be Me feature to see how your targets align with your expected income, this tool is a game changer right here, especially in times of unknown and change. As you tweak and adjust your plan, revisit your Cost to Be Me as much as you need to make sure you're happy with how your targets are stacking up to your expected income. So, do we need to update any of our current targets?
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Probably 90% of them.
Yeah. So specifically looking at our kids category group right now, I mean, diapers are going to more than double, unfortunately.
Dude, newborns go through so many diapers.
They do, I'm afraid. Child care is one that will definitely need to change, but we have not figured out how, like what it's going to look like yet.
Yeah, we still have a little bit of time. We know it's going to have to go up. For sure.
Yeah, but does it exactly double or?
I think we should just plan on it being what we currently pay for our first, plus what we paid for that season of life when he was like 5-6 months old. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Now, outside of our kids category group, though, like groceries, not right away we'll need to increase, but eventually we're going to be buying double the snacks. And
that is a ways down the road.
Maybe groceries is something we revisit like when he gets older, but probably doesn't need to change for right now. I think we should up our household items category a little bit, because this is where we buy like cleaning products and like paper towels and stuff like that, and it just seems like surely a baby will mess with that. Maybe.
Yeah.
The thing is, we can change anything and just see what happens.
I think our espresso beans budget should triple.
I do think dining out, at least during the newborn season, we would be wise to just pad this. Like, we do 100 a month right now. What if we did 150?
Oh, yeah.
That's a few extra meals a month.
I remember being so nice not having to worry about cooking.
Honestly, 150 might not even be...
It might not.
No.
Hopefully we can just rely on the generosity of friends to like drop off the occasional casserole that will last us 4 days.
Yeah.
That would be sick. And gotta bump up the Christmas budget.
See? The things you would never think of until
the day before Christmas.
I'm glad we scanned the plan. That would have really slipped through the cracks. Next, is there anything in your spending plan that should take a step down during this new season? Maybe you had the freedom to go ham on your student loans before, but now that you're trying to open your own bakery, you need to pour every last penny into this adventure. Scaling back your debt paydown plan from gazelle mode to just meeting the minimums gives you the flexibility to pour your all into this new life change while still making steady, honorable progress on your loans. And if you know you won't have time to binge out on Hulu and Netflix anyway with the new hours your residency will require, pausing or eliminating unnecessary expenses can free up more money to put towards something that serves you better, like bumping up your eating out category or funneling more money into your babysitter fund. You can hide old categories that you hope to resurrect down the road, or snooze targets from month to month until you're ready to add them back into your spending plan. Any categories we want to hide for the time being, delete altogether, or snooze for a few months.
Dibs on first. A little while into our first's life, he pushed a button on our remote and resubscribed us to Netflix. Oh, yeah. I think it is time that we unsubscribe and have a lock on the remote that you cannot do that.
The problem is All his favorite shows are on Netflix now.
Yeah, that is true.
Trash Truck, Corey Carson. So, you know what? You know who probably is not going to need to be spending out of her makeup category all that much postpartum?
Wow, that is a sacrifice.
Yeah, but...
Could also selfishly, like, just pad that a little bit by not really spending much for a few months, and then you'll have extra. If you're going to make a sacrifice like that, I will also make a sacrifice like that
babe.
for disc golf.
Oh.
Because let's be honest, you will not want me doing like paid disc golf things for the first while. And I probably won't either. I'll probably just want to sleep.
Yeah.
So
I do have throughout pregnancy a category for prenatal vitamins, and I'm not going to be taking near as many supplements once the baby is out. So we can decrease this probably by half. I'll still take a prenatal for a while, but not as many extra things. So one big part of our spending plan that will actually be changing in a pretty significant way. Our dog does not do well with babies or like gaggles of children, and so she is going to go live with a friend while we're getting used to newborn life, just figuring out all that. We know during this season we'll be prioritizing that less, which is good because we have new things to prioritize, so we can just kind of swap what those dollars are doing. Next, what changes to your plan would bring you peace of mind? Is anything weighing on you financially or keeping you from enjoying this new season? What could you build into the plan that could calm that nagging feeling of worry or uncertainty? If the beginning stages of freelancer life makes you worried you won't be able to cover your bills those first few months of finding and building your clientele, maybe figure out how you can put more focus into funding future months' rent and utilities before anything else. If bringing home a new baby includes a few months of you or your partner going without pay as you soak up the newborn life, hone in on an income replacement category to carry you through. Prioritize and protect the things that help keep you calm. Anything stress you out when you think about bringing a second baby into the family?
Besides essentially everything. Can we categorize for banking on winning the lottery?
Not sure how to do that.
Okay.
We were putting a tiny bit extra toward our mortgage payment. We were trying to get a whole extra mortgage payment in per year. And just given all the new expenses we're going to be having, maybe that's not our top priority right now. Because the thing that actually stresses me out is the childcare situation. Don't know how much that's going to cost yet because we haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do it. I just know it's going to be a lot. So maybe we scale back on the extra mortgage payment and put that toward childcare. That would help me feel a little better.
Yeah, especially if we start now and then it continues through maternity and paternity leave. It will create a nice little buffer for us for when we need to spend that money down the road.
I would say also, if we really felt like we needed extra money to go toward an expense that we haven't planned for yet, we're just throwing like $100 every month in a new car fund. And we have a new to us van and your car is pretty new, so we could probably just pause setting money aside for a new car for now, because hopefully we just don't need one for a while.
That would be ideal. Okay, so we also have money going towards like these, I don't know, extra categories that aren't super necessary, like home improvement. There are projects that we want to do around the home, outdoor expenses, like we want to replace the dead bush that's in the front yard. Like we've already gone multiple years without doing anything to our home that we've said that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
What's like an extra 6 months to a year of having a paused category?
That's true.
Where we can take that money and put it towards something that gives us more security.
That's a good point. None of these changes have to be forever by any means. It could literally be for like 3 months, half a year, 1 year. I'm not going to be landscaping a ton the rest of the year with the newborn, so we probably don't need that much in outdoor expenses. We just bought some new furniture and did a little home renovation project, so maybe we just say good for 2025 and revisit home improvement in 2026. Next question. Am I leaving room in my spending plan for the things that bring me joy? Now, I get it. While some seasons can feel like a real financial stretch, remember that being in a state of misery the whole time makes all of that even harder. Whether big or small, make sure to reserve some dollars for the things that bring you happiness. A monthly coffee fund, or a round of golf here and there, a category for date nights with your partner to keep the spark alive while you navigate a new tough season. Joy is what keeps us going, so don't neglect making room for it. Do we feel like we have room in our spending plan for the things that bring us joy?
Honestly, I have been really happy with where our fun money allotment is. I think if that were to go down, that would not bring me joy. But I'm not saying that in a sense that it needs to go up. It's staying where it is and knowing that I have it secure and that I can access it whenever I want brings me a lot of joy.
Mac is like, no touchy the fun money.
Get your back off.
I feel so secure. Especially in tough postpartum season when baby's not sleeping super great, we're not sleeping super great. Having the freedom to just like buy the stuff we want when we want it is kind of nice. So I agree that we should at least see if we can get by without decreasing our fun money.
Yeah, it's like a little present every time a little thing comes in the mail from yourself, for yourself. Hey, good job.
Yeah.
You woke up those 3 times last night and you nailed it. You deserve this.
We did increase our dining out category, which will bring us joy every time we utilize that. I feel like our espresso beans category is a good representation of us leaving room in the spending plan for the things that bring us joy. Raise your hand if you have an espresso beans category in your spending plan. I feel like we have to be one of the few.
Okay, but that was legit one of the best purchases that we made as like a, hey, congratulations, you brought a baby into this world the first time around, is our espresso machine.
Yeah.
We have used that twice a day, every day for the past 21 months.
Yeah. And we didn't buy a bougie one. And looking back from a spend full perspective, we definitely could have invested more in a nicer one because we use that thing so much.
Hey, this one's still kicking butt.
It's kicking butt, but if we replace it one day, I think we can very easily justify getting a much nicer one given how much joy it brings us literally every day. Lastly, how are you taking care of yourself during this transition? You work really hard to earn your money. You give your time, your attention, your energy, and emotion. It is not only okay, but dare I say necessary to consider how those same dollars could support you right back. Would making room for a babysitter a few hours a week give your stay-at-home spouse the much-needed me time they deserve? Or like a nap? Or like a shower? Or anything not involving a baby? Could some family therapy help you navigate a tough, unexpected cross-country move? Whatever it is, make sure your dollars are giving back to you as much as you've given to earn them. Alrighty, so last question. How are we taking care of ourselves during this big life change?
Honestly, my self-care is like the one time a week I get to go to league for disc golf, play around outside the house with the boys, spend $5, maybe make it back, plus a little bit extra depending on how I do. That is really good for my soul.
Yeah.
I'm a cheap get.
$5, babe, you can have all the self-care you want.
Great, I'm gonna go play disc golf every day.
Yeah.
How about you? What is your self-care?
I have a few thoughts. When we had our first son, we went 10 days past our due date, whatever that means. And in those final days, you were like, Hannah, go book yourself a prenatal massage. You deserve it. And then we ended up having our son like the next day, so I never booked it. And then you said I could book a postnatal massage, and then I just never got around to it. So this time, I would love a massage. And then, okay, another one that actually is more serious. After you have a baby, so many things about your body change and your self-image is not great. And you one day were like, Hannah, instead of stressing yourself out trying to fit into old clothes, just take some money, go buy new clothes that make you feel good about where you're at right now. It was awesome. I got jeans that like I could breathe in and zip up. It might be good to just toss a little bit of money in there the next few months into a category for like postpartum feel good about yourself clothes.
That's a double self-care win for you because you, A, like to wear clothes that are comfortable.
I love to wear clothes.
And
I
B,
do it every day.
You love to buy clothes.
I love to buy clothes. That
so
is
you
true.
get to shop and you get to feel good. We need a vacation. That sounds nice. We just all-inclusive beach, Caribbean. That's out of the realm of possibility.
Okay, here's the thing. I do think we need a vacation. I think we just need to name it. Choose a place and a time and make a category for it so we keep seeing it. So we keep thinking, are we going to start prioritizing this log cabin trip in 2026?
Okay, let's do it.
I think we should do that. We got to think on that one.
We do.
But we're going to name a vacation and we're going to put an empty category in the plan so that we see it and we want to prioritize it.
Yes.
And then I guess we're taking 2 kids on a vacation. I've heard that when you have kids, they're no longer vacations, they're just trips.
Is that what the word is?
Yeah, we're going to plan a trip that our kids will come on with us.
A trip where we'll still be parents.
Just in
a new
climate.
place.
Okay, well, I feel better about our spending plan. Like we have it's a little more realistic than what we had before. There's space for the new baby to slip in here.
There's space for change when something eventually needs to be adjusted.
Yeah, I will say that no matter how much you prepare and reflect and think through these questions, when the life change happens, you're still going to be tweaking the spending plan. So just remember, be flexible with yourself, be gracious with yourself. Know that it takes a while to figure out how much a new season will cost you. We're just trying to put in a little work up front so that there are less surprises, but we're still open to learning what life is going to look like with 2 kids and adjusting the plan based on that. So
yeah, this was a good convo.
This
was questions that we had not actually sat down and talked through. We had talked about talking through it, but it was good to actually sit down and think tangibly about what it's going to look like.
So here we go, I guess.
Nice. Here we go.
Way to go.
Don't forget to show our little mouse. This is our first sleeping like an angel child.
And that's all. For even more questions to consider, check out this blog written by my good friend Erin that I'll link below, with 13 more questions to contemplate as you're expecting a new life change. And as always, feel free to share the questions you found most helpful to ask during big life changes in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me today. I'm actually pretty sure by the time this video comes out, we will have a baby. Wishing you the best on whatever new change is on the horizon for you, and I will catch you in the next one.
The eye of the camera.
Ready?
It's the window to the butt. Ow! Why am I not natural?
Is there a way you could look at me more naturally? I feel like you're like looking at me out of the side of your eye.
If I look at you naturally, we're about to kiss. We're so close to each other.
Don't talk, I'm yawning. Done.
Yeah, make me yawn. It's contagious.
We're in love.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they say.
I must be in love with a lot of people. Whenever someone yawns, I'm like, okay, it's coming.
I love you. I gotta yawn again.
I'm not yawning. You're not trapping me this time. Good luck. I'm suppressing it. Nope. I didn't even look at it. Not a side eye or anything.